Hi, thank you so much for watching. My name is Mia and this is my virtual vanity, a place where we both love makeup and we're quite critical of it. If that sounds good to you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Today we are going to be talking about my top 3 favorites in each makeup category. This video is going to be split into 3 parts because I realized that you guys, unlike myself, have a life and maybe do not want to get stuck in front of YouTube for an hour or 2. I like colorful makeup, sparkly makeup. The pics in these videos are informed by that. I want to take a piece of the astral realm and splash it all over my face. I want to look a little bit magical. Without further ado, let's get to part 1 of this video series. Part 1 is all about that base. No, not that catchy song, but rather base makeup. So we are going to be talking about the following categories: foundation, primer, powder, concealer. Let's start with powder, which I find the most boring of the categories. My first pick for powder is the Sephora Collection powder, this satin prime translucent one. The pressed version, they also have a loose version, but I haven't tried that one. This is softness in a pan. It's very subtle while also mattifying. It gives a slight blur. It's good on the T-zone to set the whole face or just to set the under eyes, and I like that it looks good on my dry skin all year round without looking heavy, without looking cakey. This is perfection. It's a veil of beauty on your face and I do adore it, as you can tell by the respectable amount of pan that I have in it. The second powder is the Zessie powder. These powders come in several compacts, but I find that the formula is pretty much the same and you can kind of like switch the compact and the product around, and you can just buy the pan as well. I do have a code with Zessie. Everything that I have a code with or an affiliate link or whatever is going to be linked down below. Why I like this is that, like the Sephora Collection powder, it's a great year-round powder for me, and it also works great for the under eyes. But this I have to apply sparingly. If the Sephora Collection powder, I can just dip my brush in it and go wild. This one is best served with a lighter application. I've also noticed that if I swirl my finger around in it and then pat my under eyes, that's enough to set it and make my under eye concealer look absolutely beautiful. It helps that the compact feels precious and it makes me feel like a princess, and it gets bonus points for that. Why should I lie? I like pretty things. I am vain enough and also enough of a magpie that I like being pretty while also using pretty things, because pretty things by proxy make me feel pretty. Do you get what I'm getting at? The third but not last is the Revlon Candid Loose Powder, which I find to be, at least for me, one of the best drugstore loose powders that I've tried. This is again very smooth, very finely milled, very soft. It's a little milled cloud in powder form, and it's great again for the whole face without looking cakey, without bunching up, without looking crepey under the eyes. It's an absolutely beautiful formula and it got a lot of hype when it was released, but then I haven't seen people talk much about it and I don't understand why. And I've got a cat hair on my face. Oh my god, it's driving me insane. At this point I'm just gonna rub my whole foundation off. God. Let's talk about primer and my top 3 picks in this category. The first primer that would be my choice is the Catrice Hydrating Primer, which is said to be a dupe of the Smashbox Hydrating Primer, which of course is much more expensive. This feels like a primer moisturizer hybrid. I like that it really hydrates, moisturizes, preps my face. If I'm having a very dry face day, this is perfect, and it helps everything else sit nicely, not look like the Sahara Desert, not look like Paul Atreides is just going to come over my face and lead the free man to a war, stuff like that. The second primer that I've been really enjoying is VDL Illumi-Layer Primer, which is an illuminating primer. This I have mentioned in numerous art-inspired shop my stashes, aesthetic shop my stashes, I keep using it, but I use it sparingly because I like applying it on the high points of my face. Cheeks, maybe a little in this area over here if I'm feeling particularly dry, and this area, not the T-zone, so less product used. This is great both under foundation and on bare skin, and it gives this luminescent glow to the skin that looks like you just got kissed by a little bit of magic on the cheeks. And it's a very beautiful finish that I haven't encountered so far yet. I feel like VDL really did something special and unique with this. Last but not least, the Cover FX blurring primer, which I do not have currently because I panned mine, and I'm trying to finish another pore blurring primer before rebuying this. I find this primer to be perfect even if you want to do a whole no makeup day. I would just apply this in the T-zone, especially nose, this inner portion of the cheeks, and it would make me look flawless. Then spot conceal, a bit of powder, and I was good to go. I also like that it's not greasy feeling, not silicone-y feeling. It feels like a mousse. It's got a very pleasant texture. The one that I'm currently panning is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion, and it is nice. It's a good contender for the Cover FX, but I find that if I use too much, it tends to pill, and also I like the texture of the Cover FX just a little bit more. For concealer, if you've been here a while, you know that my top favorite is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. I've used this, I feel, since my college days. I've gone through countless tubes of this. I really like that this has high coverage, is very hydrating, blends really well with both fingers and with a sponge. The downsides of this are, from what I've heard from other people, is that it has a strong scent. I don't feel it. I probably burned my nose hairs in a Sephora somewhere while smelling too many perfumes, and I don't know why I don't feel any scent, but you have been warned. And also the shade range is not ideal, to say the least. There is that. The second, and this is a more recent favorite, a more recent discovery, is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance. I got this from a friend because we were going shopping and it was like a 2 plus 1 sale going on, and she didn't want to buy anything else. So I was like, okay, let me grab this because I did want to try it for a while, and I didn't have high expectations, but boy did it surprise me. This is so luminous, has decent coverage, is hydrating, blends beautifully with both sponge and with fingers, is absolutely gorgeous under the eyes, and I am not sure why more people don't talk about it. I don't get it. Why isn't this more hyped? Is it maybe because Rimmel is one of those brands that kind of fell off social media and influencers don't really talk about it while it's very beloved by regular consumers? I don't know, but it's a mystery. This is really good. Last but not least in this list is the Focallure High Coverage Pot Concealer, and this I like using for spot concealing in particular. I like using it under the eyes, but mostly in the summer. I've noticed that as we're going through fall and winter and my skin is getting drier, it's not looking as good under the eyes as it used to. Apparently it needs a little bit of slip, it needs a little bit of oil, which I rarely have. But in the summer, you know, sweat makes too. I know that sounds disgusting, but this is why I vary my makeup from season to season. Your skin changes with the seasons, just like leaves on a tree. Listen to it and adapt, improvise, overcome. But yeah, you get it. This is super high coverage. It's got like a putty texture, and I apply it with a brush and then blend it away lightly with my finger, because the warmth in it, you know, on the skin helps it blend away. It stays all day. It's a really good product if you've got spots to cover. Truly, really good, really good. Last but not least, foundation. My top favorite would be the Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer. Again, a fairly decent discovery, which dethroned my former favorite and the second place in this category, the Makeup Forever Aqua Blend. So the Bare Minerals one is a tinted moisturizer, a cream. You can apply it with your fingers. It gives a very beautiful, luminous finish with a light coverage. The Aqua blend from Makeup Forever is much more watery, and again it gives that beautiful luminous sheer coverage, but it tends to be more towards the satin finish as opposed to the Bare Minerals, which is more more dewy. Last but not least, the Makeup Forever Reboot Foundation, which is higher coverage but again has that quality of being very skin-like, satin luminous finish, adjustable coverage depending on how you apply it, how much of it you apply it. It applies really well with both a sponge and a foundation brush. So yes, this has been it. This has been part 1 of the top 3 in each category video. Please let me know what your tops are for each category. God, take a shot for every time I say category if you want to unalive yourself. I need to find a synonym before I go crazy. But yeah, share with me in the comments down below what your picks are for you know, this part of the video from your own collection, of course. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to have a wonderful morning, evening, second breakfast, third lunch, or whatever it is you're from. Bye!